Hi everyone, welcome to my portfolio presentation. My name is Raina Sukhnani and this presentation is prepared as a final reflection of the coursework done under Masters of Education in Advanced Teaching program with the University of People. Let me first give you an overview of the content that I will be discussing in my presentation. This presentation will discuss 6 main areas of my portfolio. The first is the description of my portfolio and its organization. The second is the interconnectedness among different categories. The third is the explanation of how the portfolio reflects my teaching philosophy. The fourth is the analysis of the ways in which the artifacts capture a sense of me as a teacher and my understanding of teaching and the instructional practices. The fifth one is the challenges I have faced while preparing this portfolio and how I try to overcome them. And finally, how I would be using this portfolio in my work as a teacher. We may ask ourselves, what is research and practice portfolio? As we all know, teaching is the only profession that teaches other professions, and this makes it a noble job. A research and a practice portfolio contains information related to the learning, to teaching, and to teaching practices that is accumulated by an individual for his or her personal and professional use. It is a record of the efforts to expand and to enhance one's professional knowledge and skills and find the ways to positively impact the lives of students in one's classroom. Here, the reflection plays a crucial role in the development of teaching and teaching practices. We may define reflection in words of Liu and Sanch and Finlay as a core component of the effective continuing professional development and the key to becoming a skilled teacher. Their statement endorses that the essence of teaching is a very creative and effective learner, and it consolidates the knowledge based on an individual. However, I arranged my research portfolio. I have utilized the required Evernote platform for this project, and in which, under my account, I have created my main research and practice portfolio notebook. The contents of the 13 courses are recorded in a separate note tab, categorized under the course name, starting from Unit 1, Education in Context, History, Philosophy, Sociology, to the last course, Applied Research Inquiry. Each course note tab is divided into 8 units with the topic name, week, and the instructor name, and as the learning went. Each such unit contains topic, codes, pictures, and other web resources of my liking and are in an interconnectedness with the main course and its unit topics. This pattern continues for each course and unit. How have I organized my portfolio? The entries in the portfolio are organized as per the topic, interconnecting all the aspects of teaching and learning in this Masters of Education in Advanced Teaching program. The entries as shown in the Venn diagram include historical and global philosophers and their perspectives, the classroom environment, diversity, inclusion, instructional designs and strategies, barriers that hinder learning to underprivileged students, understanding and learning what causes adolescents a change in the behavior as they hit the puberty, the rising use of the technology and the assertive technology for the special education students, advanced research and practices for STEM teaching, and the most important aspect of assessment and evaluation, along with teacher role, parent participation to add on the multiculturalism as these 8 teachers' professional development that leads them to become a more knowledgeable, skilled, and an experienced educator. Here is a quick video explaining to show how I have recorded my entries. The reflection portfolio is divided into 13 courses of the program. Each is again divided into 8 units learned. Each unit shows the topic, the learning week, the instructor's name. Each unit includes a quote, pictures, PDFs, videos, graphs, tables, and some funny pictures in connection with the topic. The titles are in orange color font and followed by a website from the resources taken. The pattern continues for the other courses as and when I participated. The third section asks us to reflect on my teaching philosophy. The learning in this program re-established my belief and personal teaching philosophy that every child can learn. Here I resonate with Lynch for a statement that to become the most effective teacher you can be, you must understand your own beliefs while at the same time emphasizing with others. Though never before I have bothered or had the chance to know about the history of education. Never before I had cared about what philosophy or theory of education my teaching fitted in. The continuous and the structural learning led me to know about the great philosophers, the psychologists, the educators, like John Dewey and the great philosophers of the past and their influence on the Western education movement. Here I admit that getting insight about the low, medium, and high control discipline that were completely new for me. I was quite astonished as I got great insight into the knowledge of different psychologists, the philosopher who dealt with the idea of constructivism and humanism. Theorists and their theories have a great impact on my understanding. The most great impact I had from Levi Vygotsky's social theory and the social cultural knowledge, which left a deep impact on me. While moving forward, comparing the thoughts of great sophists, John Dewey and the other education philosophers and their impact on the classroom practices give me more understanding about their philosophy. I'm trying to apply the instructional models in the classroom for what I have learned and remember about these philosophers. Sociology theories got me reconnected to the global issues. Sustainability is one of the latest and the crucial issue that needs to be addressed urgently. Barriers to learning and gender justice are affecting education as a whole and reminded me that we need to give human beings their rights fairly, and education is most essential at the top of the list. It made me revisit the barriers which stop the access to education to millions of children affected for one or the other reason in their real life. Looking back on all the assignments I completed till now, my mind wants to go back to one of the statements. Around the world, many children do not have access to education for the varieties of reasons, including race, gender, and economic status, in the written assignment under Unit 5. This really woke me up as I realized despite of so many things are being done, yet we are far away from our own goals, which is really very sad. I learned how over time our roles as educators have changed. I try to strategize and apply and replace and amplify the approach in the classroom and move from teaching a class of learners inside the closed walls and trying to inspire them to the academic success to help them look at the real world in an open as the needs of the current generation of learners are to gain all 21st century skills. By understanding child development theories, there is every chance that I'm not able to make my classroom and instructional skills most effective, but I'm better placed to connect with the families of my students and the students themselves. Though the moral development is embedded in diverse environment factors, including parental and social society influences, teachers indeed have a great role to educate today's adolescents, that is tomorrow's aspiring leaders, about religion and develop their moral obligation. The personalized learning approach to see that no child left behind and to keep the progress of disadvantaged students. Though it is not widely used in the school as yet, but it is on the rise. The approach has a potential to reduce the stigma of special education and better meet the needs of the students with learning disabilities or differences. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, and show him how to catch a fish and you feed him for a lifetime. This Chinese phrase perfectly fits the context of problem-based and project-based learning, and the teachers are the instructional designers which are best suited to help students develop critical thinking skills from a very early age. The main role of assessment and self-evaluation is the core of learning due to its benefits. The practices of assessment for today's learning means modifying tomorrow's instruction that supports the students to meet the goals of their learning and other needs. The main takeaway for me from this program is the implementation of the interdisciplinary teaching and learning. The teachers' collaboration that allows teachers to be critical thinkers, reflective decision makers, creative problem solvers, and the agent of positive social change. We must be prepared to respond to the continuous evolving needs of the diverse population in a very democratic society living and learning. Overall, the program has indeed enhanced my knowledge, impacted my teaching and professional life, and provided me the opportunities to broaden my teaching practices to a great extent. My artifacts demonstrate. This portfolio is a record of my understanding, such as how to deal with various situations that I met during learning, and the portraits of my style. It also demonstrates my skill as a teacher while also recognizing the weaknesses that needs to overcome and developing myself. The collection of the artifacts in the form of essays, pictures, pair presentations, PowerPoints, movies, cartoon, quotes, and others are exemplifying my focus on learners. And I found being utilizing the learning to provide meaningful learning experience for my students and further using the active learning strategies to enhance my instruction and lesson planning and student participation. The artifacts in this represent my reflection and practice from reading and research as an educator. The artifacts show my cognitive, social emotional literacy, creative skill development as a teacher. Though these my perspectives and goals towards becoming a global competitive teacher can be defined. Challenges. Identifying challenges. Challenges are a part and a parcel of life. Overcoming them gives a sense of achievement. This program threw a lot of challenges that needs to be overcome. Challenges makes life interesting. However, overcoming them, what makes life meaningful. One such issue was to effectively incorporate the APA formatting, especially with citations and references, as well as the shift from between 6th to 7th APA citation regulations. In the beginning, my citing formatting was wrong. Even at some places, I did not use the in-text citation, but using the continuous feedback from my peers and course instructors, I learned how to use citation correctly. Though I still make few minor errors, sometimes leaving me with a scope to learn further. Another challenge was to write the reflective portfolio on the unit learn. In the beginning, I was either writing them too short or too long. I found it difficult to concise my writing, but again the feedbacks from my course instructor and my personal diligence paid me all very well, though it took me a time to make it perfect. Dr. Brain Gregg compliments on my third unit's portfolio was that this is one of the best portfolio and it should be made in this way. Gave me a sense of achievement, and this was very satisfying to overcome great challenges. The program was running well, and I was actively participating in all the aspects of the courses. Having found a new job, I have to travel to a new country. Travel preparations and having moved to a new country, I found myself short of time. Serving a good week in quarantine and then moving out to find a house and furnishing, it took about 2 months. And this halted my work on research and practice portfolio artifacts. But once I settled down, I worked extra time to cover up the lost time and restarted to collect the artifacts to update my portfolio. Using my portfolio in my work. I will be using this portfolio as HEART, holistic, empathetic, artistic, rigorous, and transformational towards teaching. The rigorous program has had me evolved into a competent educator who takes holistic approach to teaching students, has empathy for our students, colleagues, and my community, who views teaching as an art and values the outcome of a rigorous curriculum. While growing and working to arrange this portfolio, the work of a reflective practitioner who really impacted me is how professionals think in action. Reminds me the ability of teachers to reflect on their teaching as crucial to their professional development. Self reflection gave me a sense of responsibility in me and more determined to the same time to the least play of my part as well as a teacher to try and achieve the goal of giving every child access to education. The collection of these artifacts will always reintegrate its importance, which is always very refreshing and will broaden my mind that I currently notice the growth in me both as a learner and as a teacher, and that I always go to the classroom with different perspective than I was having in the past. Further, this portfolio will not be ending here with the finishing of this program. Rather, I have planned to consider it as a work in always progress to keep it updated in the future. I conclude with resonating the words, the beliefs that encourages setting high expectations for the students, as it is one of my favorite reading in the course. When we decided to become teachers, we committed to do all that we can to sustain success for all students so that failure is not an option. This is not an easy task, but we know that most tasks are worth and not so easy. What could be more important than committing to make this world a better place by helping our future leaders? I can never forget this encouraging statement that always motivated me and will be with me throughout my lifetime. This brings us to the end of my portfolio presentation. Thank you for giving your time, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Bye-bye.